Who's ready to get a little bit better? If so, comment yes. Woo! Here we go. Wow, I feel like that was a little extra loud. Sorry, microphone. Let's get a little bit better. I'm talking to a specific audience today. I won't be talking to everybody, but if you've ever thought about coaching, if you've ever thought, man, maybe I could help other people. Maybe I've learned some things. Maybe I've got some stuff to give that I could coach other people. If you've ever had that thought, if you ever thought maybe, I hear all this talk about masterminds. How could I launch a mastermind? Well, I'm going to answer that question. I've been leading masterminds for 5 years. When I started my business about 5 years ago, I have led thousands, best I can figure, probably over 4,000 plus mastermind calls and coaching calls. And before that, Malcolm Gladwell, he has his 10,000 hour rule that it takes 10,000 hours to master it. Well, before I launched a coaching business, I was a pastor, still am a pastor actually. And so like 10,000 hours. Oh yeah, I've crossed 20 years. I've been doing that. So coaching, mentoring, leading, discipling. Guys, I've been doing this a long time. Now, launching coaching businesses, I'd never done that before. And then I did it and I was like, wow, that was actually easier than I thought. So I will tell you, I had a coach that helped me walk through the process. Now I've probably launched half a dozen people into their own coaching businesses. It's not like my bread and butter. It's not like the thing I do the most of, even though everybody I've launched has been successful in launching their coaching businesses. So I was thinking about this call, and I've actually just recently started working with a couple clients to launch their coaching business. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put some goodness out there and maybe help some other people that have overcomplicated. Because before I'm going to give you 4 phases. It's super easy. It's easier than you think. Here's the big thing that I will tell you about people who want to become a coach, who want to start a business and launch their first mastermind. If that's you and you haven't done it yet, let me tell you why. You have overcomplicated the crap out of it, and you've made it a whole lot more complex than it needs to be. So what I'm getting ready to share with you, obviously, I'm going to do this in like 9 minutes flat. But like, I'm not going to give you I'm going to tell you the steps. It's pretty clear. And hopefully for most of you, it will simplify some things in your mind and get you off of majoring on the minors and get you majoring on the right things that actually get you launched. Here's what I tell my clients when I'm working with them one-on-one and we're launching a coaching business. 90 days. 90 days and you can launch. It doesn't take longer than that. It doesn't have to unless you drag your feet and you don't do what I tell you to do. But 90 days, you are going to be returning on your investment in coaching because you're going to be making money by serving other people and changing their lives, okay? So now let me qualify real quick because I'm going to talk specifically about how to launch a mastermind. And my definition of mastermind is different than some people. What is a mastermind? It is a small group of people. 5 to 8 people is the ideal number for a mastermind who we meet together consistently on a weekly basis. There's 100 people in a Zoom call and you don't even know their name. Like, to me, that's not a real mastermind, okay? Like, can you have a mastermind that meets up monthly or bi-weekly or, you do events or whatever? That's cool. Like, yeah, you can do that. That's not what I do. What I create is a weekly group that meets together, that holds accountable, that is consistent, that develops deep trust. That's what I call a mastermind. That's the definition we are working with as I talk about this. You want to launch a mastermind? Pay attention. Here we go. Phase 1, are you ready? Is clarity and preparation. This is the longest phase. You might be in this phase for about 30 days, give or take a little bit. And so here's what you do in the clarity phase. Number 1, you do the clarity work. That means get clear about who you're going to serve, who's your ideal client. You're going to create your, what I've learned from a branding company, brand builders group that I've worked with, they call it the brand positioning statement, which is what problem do you solve? What message do you carry? What is the payoff of working with you, of being in your mastermind environment? And what is the offer? So you get clarity on those things. That takes a little bit of work. I was doing some of that with a client this week. It was fun because we're just drawing out the greatness that is already on the inside of them. So yeah, I'm going to give you the phases. I'm telling you, like, it's a whole lot easier. You get somebody to help you, but this is the simple process. So 1, do the clarity work. 2, and this is going to flip some of you out, create a call list. Wait, I don't have a website. I don't have a logo. I don't have, yes, freaking start making a list. Once you know who you're serving, make a list of people that are your ideal client. that might be your ideal client, that you think maybe possibly might be somebody that could work with you that fits into that ideal client framework, right? Make a list. And here's what you want to get. You're going for 50 names and phone numbers. That is easier to get than you think. Look in your phone, look in your spouse's phone, and start writing down names and phone numbers. Look on social media and send people messages and say, hey, I'm getting ready to launch a mastermind. Here's what I'm doing. Here's why. Here's why I think you might be a fit. You got a phone number? Let's get on a call. And number 3, get referrals. People that think you're awesome and they know the value you bring, send them a message, take them to lunch, buy them coffee, and say, hey, here's what I'm getting ready to do. Who do you know that might be a fit for this, right? Simple. Get names, get a list. Number 3, write a discovery call script. An enrollment call, discovery call. This is where you're going to start calling people, but you need to know what you're going to say. And so don't overcomplicate that. Like I walk people through a 7-step process of how to do a great discovery call. Listen, guys, when I started doing this, I didn't have a lick of sales. I have done hundreds of sales calls now. And you know what the primary thing is? Connect with people, value people. Be genuine and sincere with people. Care about them. Can't tell you how many people have gotten on a call with me and they're like, I've never been listened to like that. And I listen to people and I speak into their lives and I am genuine and sincere in that. And by the time I get to the point of telling them about a mastermind, they're like, oh yeah, I went in. Why? Because they were known, they were seen, they were heard, they were valued. That's what people want. Do not overcomplicate sales. So when you write out that discovery call script, you're going to use a lot of your story and you're going to be able to connect it to your own transformation. Because if you're talking about doing a mastermind, listen, if you're not in a mastermind, you better be joining one right now because you got to be smoking what you're selling. I never smoked, but you know what I'm saying. You got to be a believer and you've got to have experienced the transformation. Okay, let me move a little quicker. Discovery call script. And then this is a big one. The next one is be intentional about growing, becoming the best version of you. Your personal growth habits, they better ramp up. You can't get busy starting a business and then stop growing yourself. What will make you a great coach, the thing that will increase your ability to coach others more than anything is you growing consistently, becoming the best version of yourself. So read more books, go to more events, get around the right people, join that mastermind, get the coaching, level yourself up, because if you are not intentional about that, you are going to run out of juice. You're going to run out of content. You're going to run out of value to bring to your audience. So phase 1, you better increase, amplify. I don't care what you're doing, amplify whatever you're doing so you're growing. And then the last few things is just really practical. Figure out what you're going to name your company. Like, don't overthink it because you can change it as much as you want. Like, some of you freaking out. You've been going through surveys and like you've been going forever trying to figure out a name. Just like Joe Schmo Coaching. Boom, you're good. All right, sign it up. And then next step, set up an LLC because you need the LLC before you can set up your business bank account. Because then the last step of phase 1 is you need to know how people are going to pay you. So literally, you've done the clarity, you've done the preparation. You're ready for phase 2. LLC, business bank account, Venmo, PayPal. Keep it simple in the beginning. You don't need a landing page. You don't need Kajabi or Infusionsoft. You're overcomplicating. Just get accounts so people can pay you, okay? Phase 2, scheduling and prospecting. Literally, set a couple options of your launch date. And again, this is my version of a mastermind. You're going to have a weekly call with a small group of people. So when you're doing your first group, you kind of got to feel out the people of whether it's going to be an order morning or evening. I mean, you can say, hey, I'm doing this call on this day at this time if you're in or out. But if you like connecting with people that are a great fit, you might end up launching 2 groups because you got some people can do morning, some people do evening, some people are daytime. Like if you're doing all entrepreneurs or business owners, you might have a little bit more flexibility, just set the day and time. But set the day and time, and then you know what? Start making some calls. You got a call list, you got a discovery call script, start making calls. What are you waiting for? Why are you going to wait till you get a website and a business page and a logo and a business card? You don't need any of that. I had 3 masterminds running. I was making 6 figures before I ever had any of that. Before I had a brand and a social media presence, I was launching masterminds. You can too. Do not overcomplicate it. Start making calls. Plan on making calls in 2 to 3 weeks so that you're crushing that and you're enrolling people in a quick amount of time. And then, oh yeah, sign up for a Zoom account. If you're going to use Zoom to do this, boom, that's phase 2. Phase 3, launch it. Boom, launch it, baby. Listen, when you launch, you're going to need to figure out what your call content's going to be. you wouldn't be having the thought of starting a mastermind if you didn't already have enough content on the inside of you. So outline your first 4 calls, not 62 weeks, not 6 months. Outline your first 4 calls, internalize that content, be ready. Your script doesn't need to be longer than 2 or 3 pages, because if it's longer than that, you're going to talk too much. And the power of a mastermind is when other people talk. The magic is bringing the right people into the room and creating synergy and trust. That is the power of a mastermind. So outline your first 4 calls, launch the thing, follow up, and begin building community. And you are off and running. You have launched your mastermind. You're going to focus on building community, focus on serving people. Phase 4 is constant and never-ending improvement. Keep making it better. Keep bringing more content. Keep refining and adjusting your strategy and your flow of your calls, perhaps, because you're going to take some time to figure some of that out. Guys, that is how simple it is to launch a mastermind. So I hope your big takeaway from this conversation was, I'm going to stop overcomplicating my dream, because I have a calling and a destiny to serve people, and there's something on the inside of me that I need to give to the world. And maybe, just maybe, you could launch that sooner rather than later. So you stop talking about it and you start doing it. I haven't really held back too much. I hope this served you. If you want to drop a takeaway, I'd love to see that in the comments. I didn't hit 9 minutes, but I'm going to end it now. This is where you should get off this call, this video, and go out there and give your greatness to the world, because somebody needs what's on the inside of you. Go out there and give it away. Go launch a mastermind. Go change some lives, people. They need you. They're waiting on you. I love you all. Have a great week.